Okay.
Goddamn.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Sunday Exception. I am your co-host Logan. This is my co-host Jesse.
What's poppin'?
Coming to you live on this fine Wednesday afternoon. Jesse, how are we feeling today?
Goddamn. Dude,
Coffee?
so far, so far so good, man. I can't complain. I can. There's plenty of things I can complain about, but overall, I really can't. Healthy for the most part.
There we go.
Yeah, I'm all right.
It's good to hear, brother.
With you?
Dude, nothing out of the ordinary. Football's back. In love. Basketball's coming in a little bit. Plenty of news with that shit, but doing good, dude. Sports are back. Vibes are very fucking good. Immaculate, I would say. But we got a couple things to talk about. Number one, got to bring this up because this is your freaking team. We're going to talk about the Jets. So, Jets roll out, new team, especially at the quarterback position. Fourth play, Aaron Rodgers goes down. But y'all still win the game somehow.
Dude, I'd rather we have lost that game. If it was either we kept Aaron Rodgers or lose, dude, lose 100 times over, 100%.
Yeah. Blowout even?
Yeah. Like, I would have been okay with being the New York Giants the night before and lost 40-0 if it meant we could keep Aaron Rodgers. But that's the thing. If we lost 40-0 with Aaron Rodgers, the world would have Aaron Rodgers. They would want his head on a stake. See, that's the thing. But
it would have been national news the next
oh my
day.
God, yeah. Like, Aaron Rodgers is blessed. He should have retired. The Jets fucked up. That's what would have happened. But instead, Aaron Rodgers just tears his Achilles.
Dude.
And he's never had a season-ending injury week one.
No. It was just his collarbone his collarbone late in the season that 1 year. But that was it. Never. I hate it. It's so I realized, and looking back on it, before the game, it was mentioned I don't know if it was mentioned right when he went down, but a couple plays in, they talked about a quarterback who there was a big hype around and he got hurt. I can't remember the guy's name, but they brought up this one quarterback who had a hype train behind him, great team, and then he had a season-ending injury game one or something. I don't know if that was mentioned after he got carted off the field or before. I feel like it was either before or right when he went down or something. But
I'm trying to think.
If it was before though, it's that. It's to me, it was that same shit with kickers where they'll say oh, this kicker hasn't missed a kick all season, and then he freaking whiffs it. It's like the kicker's jinx. But if it was before, it was the same exact shit. And I'm like, dude, they got to just stop with these comparisons and graphics altogether.
Dude, were you watching Monday?
I was. Start to finish.
From start, when Aaron Rodgers came out with the American flag and everything. Dude.
Crazy moment.
You're telling me, dude, that was probably one of the sickest moments in football. Not only because it was 9/11, the storyline between Aaron Rodgers leaving the Packers, going to the Jets, and finally, like, where it actually matters, he's playing meaningful football. Week 1 is not meaningful, but 9/11, the 9/11 game,
it's big. New York,
and it was just, dude, that camera crew is awesome. They made that look awesome.
Yeah.
It was just
badass.
I got goosebumps. I made sure I could end both my middle school and JV games so I could be home to watch Aaron Rodgers. And mind you, we got killed in my middle school. I mean, dude, my JV team looked like the fucking the New York Giants on Sunday night. We literally lost 40-0. Okay, at that point, dude, once they put 30 on us, me and the other coach were like, on the bright side, one more touchdown, and they just start running the clock because of mercy rule.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, I'll get home sooner. Just to find out, just to watch that moment with Aaron running out with the freaking flag, and 10 minutes later, just an abomination of. Dude, it was literally 4 plays, and this man's season is just done.
Mm-hmm. The worst part is I was just about to like before the injury, it was like after the second play, I was about to text you like nothing about Aaron. I was about to say your offensive line is looking ass so far. Just off the 2 plays, I was like, all right, your offense. I was like writing up that text, and right before I press send, that fucking play happens. And
I would have thought,
all right, not a good time.
You would have gotten the middle finger emoji. Okay, I'm just letting you. And that's all that text would have been, because dude. And I hear that there's, so I made sure to watch the Pat McAfee show the next day, because Aaron Rodgers Tuesdays is back. Like every Tuesday, Aaron Rodgers is gonna hop on.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to see if he would hop on or not, but he never did.
Yeah.
But
makes sense.
There was a story going that there was not beef, but like what's the word that I'm looking for? Just a little bit of differences of opinion on what excuse me, the line should do in a certain. So the thing is that our offensive line coach coaches a certain way on a 3-step drop to pass on what the lineman should do. This coach wants the lineman to do like a quick cut. So he cuts the lineman, and Aaron Rodgers should throw the ball, which is true. So
that involves you getting the ball out quick.
Yeah, the 3-step drop. Yeah, you want to get that ball out quick. So that's why the linemen cut. They get those edge rushers out of the play completely, so they can't swat. Yeah. And you throw the ball. Aaron Rodgers, apparently, according to whatever sources Pat had, is that Aaron Rodgers is not the biggest fan of that, because say he doesn't like his first read, he wants to extend the play, and by the time he's extending the play, those edge rushers that just got cut are getting back up and they're running after the football, right?
Yeah,
and that's what happened. So and it was on back-to-back plays, I think, or it was either the quick pass, the run with Breece Hall, and then the quick pass where everything went to shit real quick.
And that's the other thing. Like, Aaron is known, like, we know as Aaron Rodgers is he's got a cannon, and if he sees something downfield, he's gonna launch. But to fucking do that, you gotta have time to sit in the pocket for a second. Like, right. I kind of like I agree with that assessment, though. And I mean, he's old. Like, I don't know. Maybe like if you got a guy like, I don't want to do a bad comparison, but I'm thinking of a guy like, I don't know, Lamar Jackson, for example. Like you're good. That might be an offense that kind of works. Like, he goes for his first read, and if not, he's taking the fuck off. Aaron's not the kind of guy who's going to take off.
No, he's going to bounce the pocket. He's going to roll out and make something happen. Yeah, but he's not going to take off and run 50 yards.
Exactly.
No. He'll run towards the sideline. Yes. That's what's going to happen. And it was just shitty. And technically, I mean, if Aaron Rodgers just looked to his left real quick instead of his right, he would have had Garrett Wilson wide open. But that's not a here or there. I mean,
Yeah.
you can go all day saying what ifs or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a horrible, horrible feeling to watch Aaron Rodgers play 4 snaps and that's it. That's all we get. And then to see Zach Wilson run out there. At first, my heart hit my stomach, dude. Whatever the saying is, I don't care. It was just my stomach was in knots.
Yeah.
But not gonna lie, the kid didn't disappoint. Was it Aaron Rodgers? No. There would have been plenty of plays Aaron Rodgers would have made that Zach Wilson screwed up, but that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I will say, because of Aaron Rodgers coming in, I think it made Zach Wilson a better quarterback, and we did see that Monday.
Absolutely.
Because Zach Wilson last year in that situation, well, even if he started a game, right, didn't even tear his Achilles or whatever, last year Zach Wilson would have folded real quick.
Last year Zach Wilson probably would have had 2 picks before halftime and a fumble maybe. Who knows?
Like Josh Allen. Dude, Josh Allen.
Dude, I can't even. I don't know what that was. I have Stephon Diggs, so on my fantasy team. So I was like, all right, perfect. Cause he had 29.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, bet.
I started Aaron Rodgers, and I have what's his face, Josh Allen. I have both quarterbacks only because I won the whole thing last year with both of them.
Yeah.
But Aaron Rodgers got me 0 points, right? I looked at the bench for Josh Allen. He had 9 points. So it was like, all right, it's not 9 points. Might as well be 0 for a quarterback.
Yeah. Might as well be a fucking kicker at that point.
Yeah. Dude, Josh Allen, the Bills really screwed up because they did not capitalize off Aaron Rodgers getting hurt.
They did not. I thought they were going to blow the whole. As soon as that happened, Zach came in, I'm like, all right. Bills are going to blow this whole game.
I literally started drinking, dude. I started, once Aaron got hurt, I mean.
Getting ahead of the pain you were going to feel through the rest of the game.
Literally. But to be honest, dude, the Jets defense.
You guys are fucking savages on defense.
We're good. We're good.
Way too early, but I'd say definitely one of the best defenses in the league.
As of right now.
I mean, you could throw the Cowboys in there maybe because the fucking the Giants look so bad, but
they did look really bad.
I blame that a little more on Daniel Jones, just not I don't know. I don't even want to go into the Giants because I don't care and I don't know what the fuck happened with that. But I cannot believe they got skunked that bad by the Cowboys.
That just goes to show that Danny Dimes ain't it.
No.
And they're paying that man $40 million to throw.
And they argued with Saquon all offseason to get forget the running back thing. It's like I had the same problem when they paid Ryan Tannehill a freaking boat and they were ticky-tacking Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry's been on 1 year deals for I don't think he's still on one, but it was franchise tag.
Yeah, I don't know.
And it's like the same situation there. I'm like, you gave the guy upwards of 140 million, and that's what you get from it. It's how much of their success is a product of him versus a product of their their offense in general, like Saquon. Right. That whole thing confuses me, but. Moving on from the New York teams besides the Jets that I don't care about, Eagles pissed me off royally on Sunday.
They won though, right?
They won, but it was ugly.
It was ugly. I know it was 25-20. I just didn't remember. I was pretty sure it was the Eagles, but
to put it this way, couple things I want to get to. The offensive coordinator, I'm going to rip his ass, but the fact that put it this, the Patriots are a good team this year. They definitely got some more than usual. They have some actual studs on offense now. Defense, you can always assume the Patriots defense is going to be good every year because they're very disciplined. And they don't get penalties much.
Right.
But um, but any other team, put it any other off like decent offensive team in the situation that we put the Patriots in on Sunday, they win that game.
Mhm.
Like it was so like if like put it this way, if Mac Jones was anybody else, if he was Mahomes, Burrow, um,
I don't know.
I
I don't
like
know. I
I,
don't know. They didn't do too well either.
yes, but no, like we gave the Patriots so many opportunities to win that game,
Yeah.
a laughable amount of time. Main problem I have is I cannot understand why our offense coordinator is and like I don't know if this is Sirianni I'm sure because the guy we had last year he was like solely only one calling the plays like Sirianni like mid-season or like some point in the season like gave full responsibility over to him. He's not here
sucking.
anymore. Yeah,
Right.
because he was sucking. But now here we got this guy. I don't know if Sirianni's been involved, but I can't wrap my head around why we have Jalen Hurts running straight down the middle of the field on countless possession. The possession, mainly the possession he fumbled on because he got cracked. But why are we putting our quarterback in those situations so early? It's the first game. Like if this was playoffs and it's like we need 5 yards, if Jalen takes off dirt down the middle, I'll be fine. My chest was hurt every time I saw him like go from about the pass to just cuffing the ball and just running.
Quarterback draw. Yeah.
Quarterback draw. My I can't even explain it. I would just get a cramp in my chest because he was getting the hit he fumbled on. I was like that. It was low as crap. He got hit right in the knees, and that's the guy's helmet popped the ball out from the inside. But
hey, once there's no penalty there.
No, there's not.
It's a play. I mean, you know what I mean. If you were passing the ball, that'd be different. But
exactly. But with the weapons we have now, that should not be our first freaking option. Is Jalen running the football? We get Swift, great running back, hasn't fully. He's proved what he can do. He just has never had a consistent season because he's always getting hurt. Outside of like,
and he was on the fucking Lions.
And he was on the Lions, yeah. So it's like, so I can look at that though and be like, okay, I don't know how good their line. I know the team as a whole wasn't that good, but like his first, because he was hurt most of last year, but the year prior, I think he was healthy all year and he was still eating and I only keep track of him because I had him in fantasy that year.
Yeah.
Like that's when he came on the radar. I was like, who the hell is this guy? Like from the Lions, just sitting in free agency in our draft, and I'm like, oh.
And he's like their starting run. I mean, he was always decent, but like you said, injuries plagued him.
Exactly.
Like he beat out Adrian Peterson when
crazy
when AP was on the Lions toward like his second year or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was a point where Swift was getting more carries. It was kind of pissing me off because I had Adrian Peterson on my fantasy. But
one singular carry on Sunday. I don't even think
I didn't watch any of that game, so I really I'm here. Like,
wasn't involved. Yeah, wasn't involved whatsoever. Like, Gainwell caught a couple passes, and like we had a couple like reads that went to him like on the sideline where you were. Because I don't know the terminology, but like he'll run like a quick in and out route and like come inside and ball goes right to him and he would scramble for like a handful of yards. But it was just I just couldn't understand. Like Jalen was finding AJ, which like I've never worried about that, but I'm glad like it's very clear AJ's still going to be his number one guy. I think Smith had one of our touchdowns though.
I think so. I think I do remember hearing about that. Yeah.
I think Smith did have one of our touchdowns, but like I'm glad like at least in that regard, like the pecking order is still kind of the same. Goddard though, another great player we have on offense, he barely got any touches during the game. So I'm sitting here and I'm like, okay, you're not giving him stuff, but we're putting Jalen in risky situations when it's literally like second or first down.
Yeah.
And it's like we're not scrambling to get something. It's not like we're last minute we need to get a first down. Like
Right.
they're calling these plays on like first down and second down. I just couldn't wrap my head around that. And then the turnovers, the penalty, it was a very disgusting win. So in the same we're kind of in the same like regard a little bit. Like
Yeah.
you guys won a little more convincingly.
Oh yeah, dude.
That walk off was insane.
Dude, I think that was. I remember watching. I'm like, there's no way. Like it's a normal punt. Just like literally in my head when this went to overtime, I saw the punt. I'm like, all right, he's gonna get hit.
Yeah.
And then I saw him make a decent like return. He got like 10 yards. I'm like, all right, he's gonna get tackled. And then the Jets go fuck it up. But dude, the fuckers kept going.
They just kept going.
And they did miss a tripping call. They did.
Ooh,
But I mean, like that main block, like it was number 55 who Gibson, the returner, like he was running, then he saw him, he's like, oh shit, I'm gonna bounce this out real quick for an extra blocker. And that dude in front of him like dove at the one guy's feet and ended up tripping him.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been real. The refs probably like, we can't.
Just get us out. I want to go home.
Yeah, we can't. It's not 11. We're in New York, Jersey, whatever you want, whatever.
Yeah,
we gotta give it to him. But dude, it was a nice return, and
that was a good return.
And did you watch Hard Knocks? The Jets Hard Knocks.
I've watched like the first 2 episodes. I haven't seen it all the way through.
So that returner, he's an undrafted rookie.
Oh, yes.
There was like it was just like a good storyline moment there where, like he was fighting to make the team, and he makes the team, and then wins in a walk-off overtime touchdown against the Bills. It was just a good moment. I was in shock. Yeah. Like I was just in shock for a good 5 minutes. Like, wow, that really just happened. Mm-hmm. And then reality set. Like, damn, Aaron Rodgers is still out for the year.
I loved when your coach was one of the first people to get to him too. That was my favorite part.
Dude, that man is a literal hype. He's a hype man that knows football and knows how to be a head coach. Yeah. Sure, he had a couple of rocky seasons, but that's gonna happen. But the culture there, like, just sure, like the Jets have had rough seasons with him the past. I think this is his 3rd season or whatever. Mm-hmm. His first year sucked. It was rough. He had Zach Wilson. Yeah. The second year, we had Zach Wilson still, but we had a whole lot of weapons on the team. Yeah. And we were literally in a playoff run. Like, dude, the Jets were unstoppable for a moment. Like, we were on this unbelievable run. And then Breece Hall gets hurt. He tears his ACL, and then like another lineman goes down, and literally we shit the bed the rest of the year. Mm-hmm. Sorry. And then that's another thing. Breece Hall had a hell of a game that game, and it's kind of shitty because it kind of got overshadowed, but because of Aaron going down and literally that walk-off touchdown. Like, no one's talking enough. Like, I've seen a couple things here and there, but literally Breece Hall he was averaging 40 yards a touch. Every time he touched the ball, he would go like 40 yards. Like,
dude, when he had that return for like almost 70 yards. Like, got all the way down the field, and like
he was tired. He like that should have been a touchdown, but just because he's been out for freaking a year, like
I'll tell you this,
you gotta give him credit. You gotta give him credit
when he broke through the line. And
like the bounced a couple tackles.
Yeah, when he broke through a couple tackles. Dude, if you were to tell me that guy had blown his knee up the year prior, I would have told you you're fucking crazy. Because that's the separation he got. Like, dude, after a couple steps, dude, I've never seen anybody move that fast.
He should have been gone, but just because he hasn't been in the game, like practice and game speed are different. Yeah. Like
that's what Eli was saying.
If it was like say it was like week 8 or whatever, that's a touchdown. 100%.
Easy.
And even Dalvin Cook had he had a nice couple runs. Yeah. He should have had a bigger game, but I mean, What are you gonna do?
Yeah, still getting intertwined with the offense.
Oh yeah,
Probably.
big time.
Did you on a separate note, football related though? Did you see that thing DraftKings did the other day?
The 9/11,
Never forget parlay.
and then they took it down real quick. Dude, not gonna lie, I mean, I really don't. I mean,
it's like it is insensitive, but like I don't know. Those people are probably trying to be just creative. It's like, oh, these are all New York
yeah,
teams.
exactly.
They're all playing on the same night. Like, let's just all throw this together and like.
And dude, to never forget. I mean, that's. I don't hate that. Never forget.
Yeah.
That's nice. I mean, it could have been the 9/11 parlay. I mean, you know what I mean. But I mean, I see both sides.
Yeah,
Like,
it's like one of those.
It
It's like a gray area kind of thing. Like I don't feel one way or the other about it. Like
you know what? You want to talk about great? What did you see Shane Gillis's special on Netflix?
I haven't seen it yet, but I watched Protect Our Parks with like Ari, Mark Norman, and Joe, and they were talking about it, but I haven't watched it yet.
It's pretty good. He's got a couple 9/11 jokes in there that are
of course.
I mean, it's nothing really about like he's not memeing 9/11. He's just memeing Australians, and it's kind of funny. I'm not. I'll let you watch it. It's it's kind of deep in the special, but it's a pretty good special.
It's worth it.
Yeah, 100%.
I'll definitely have to check it out because they were talking about, and dude, they did that episode I was listening to of that Joe put out. It was literally it's like 5 hours of the like they get I'm gonna watch I want to try and watch the rest like tonight, but I went to bed like as they were starting to get like really hammered. I was like 2 hours in, and they were like really starting to get fucked up, and it was starting to get crazy. But was it moving on? Another I'm sure you might have seen this, but there was something that just came out about Rockets player. Have you seen anything about that? Kevin Porter Jr.?
No.
So he got arrested. I think it was on Monday. Might have been Tuesday. I think it was Monday. He got arrested for and backstory, he's like an up and coming Rockets star, and he's a really good player on a losing team. But he literally beat allegedly beat the crap out of his girlfriend, and his girlfriend's a WNBA player, and he got arrested in their at their hotel. I think it was Monday morning, and the details came out that afternoon, like the police report, and it looks horrible. If what's being alleged is true, I guess what happened is they got into they were hanging out most of the day, and they got into some kind of argument, and she locked the door to their apartment because she was, I guess, probably just didn't want to be around him, and he made the hotel staff come and open the door for him. And I don't know if it was as soon as the door opened or what, but basically that door got open and he started allegedly swinging on her. And then it was also documented that she has a fractured vertebrae in her neck because he was allegedly choking her.
That could have happened in a game. Wait, or practice.
She's I thought that too. She's not active anymore. She, I think, hasn't been in the league in like a year or two.
She's not training?
I don't think so.
Bullshit.
Who knows? But
yeah, I mean, I could also be way out of pocket. This man could have actually beat the shit out of this woman.
Yeah.
I mean,
like we don't know because because they're still doing an investigation. But what I can tell you is, regarding him, this isn't the first time he's had one of these incidents. So back when he was on the Cavaliers, he walked out of a game after an altercation with one of the coaches on the team. Like walked off the court. I don't think he came back in the game. There was another incident where he allegedly punched punched a woman who was like arguing with his sister in some kind of cafe, and then there was some other incident of him getting into it with a player. So the Cavs ended up trading him because
He's a liability.
he's a liability, but also
a terrible human, apparently,
allegedly. But he took they had taken his name off his locker when he was with Cleveland. They had taken his name off the locker because I guess like they were shopping him at that point, and they're like, all right, we're gonna get a deal done and get him out of here. Or I guess. Him. Yeah, or release him. And allegedly he turned the locker room upside down, was like freaking out, like had a blow up in the locker room when he saw like they took his locker or something.
Well, he was probably thinking that he either got released and he has no idea what the fuck to do, or he knew he was being traded. And dude, I've heard I've watched I forget what it was, but it was something talking about like players getting traded and everything. Mm-hmm. You really don't think about it because these guys have a shitload of money. Yeah. But like, even for like an average person picking up and leaving, like maybe this man just moved into this place and now he's getting shipped off. He's got to pack up everything, sell whatever apart, like get out of that lease or whatever, sell that house or whatever, and then pick up all your shit and then move to wherever you're going, and then find a place out there, which probably takes a week or two.
Yeah,
because like you're not showing up and like say you're going from New York to freaking Idaho,
California.
You're not gonna find a house in a day, right?
Yeah,
you're gonna stay in a hotel, and that's gonna take some time.
Yeah,
and what if you got a family? You got your whole family in the place. So this man was probably thinking like, damn, like this is gonna suck.
But yeah. So because of all these incidents, when he got traded to the Rockets, the Rockets signed him to a pretty decent contract. However, I found out on Monday that they had a stipulation in it. Basically, the long and short of it is you can't get in trouble. And you can't have incidents of the past that come up. They have to pay him now a fraction of that deal. He's only owed a fraction of it. They basically, let's say it's I can't remember the deal off the top of my head, but let's say it's a 4-year deal. They basically only have to pay him a certain, either the full amount of his first year or a percentage of it, and they don't have to pay him for the rest of his contract. So they knew there was something off with this guy, which the talent is there. He's a very good basketball player, but
just not a great person.
Not a great person, but so they had that in the contract, and now looking back in hindsight, it's probably genius that they did that because they don't have to pay. They get that write off, which be probably close to like $100 million.
And he's probably done now.
I see. That's what I thought, and this is why I wanted to bring this up. I just got a notification about maybe an hour ago that I'm going to pull this shit up. That they are shopping him, looking for someone. Is he? He's with the Houston Rockets right now.
No, like how good of a play? Like out of a scale of like 1 to 10, how good?
I would put him mid-level. Could be. So when I say mid-level, I'm talking like a guy who can average anywhere from like 15 to 20. Maybe.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, pretty good. No, that is pretty. It is pretty good. Like a guy who can average 15 to 20. He's gonna grab a couple rebounds. He can play.
Is he an asset? Would you want him on your team
with all this? No. But take that away. Yes, the basketball player, I absolutely would.
See, although that's the GM thinking, like, can we deal with all the hoopla but still, like,
There
dude, that's like
this
that.
isn't like this is a lot.
That is a lot. But then again, you also got to think Deshaun Watson. This man had how many sexual
Over
harassment?
30, I think.
Yeah. And right now he's playing in the National Football. He got
Yeah.
he was
sucking, by the way. He did not look.
No, he didn't look good, but they beat the shit out of the Bengals.
They did beat the shit out of the Bengals.
And you also got to give Deshaun Watson some credit. I mean, this man didn't play for it was like 1,000 days or something like that.
Yeah, like over 2 years, basically.
So like you gotta give him some slack. He's still knocking off that rust.
Oh, definitely.
But
I just can't wrap my head around how because here's the thing. The right thing to do in this situation, you fucking release him. You cut your losses and you say, fuck all. I don't care where you go, KPG. Kevin Porter Jr. Jr. Oh, yeah. Like, fuck off. Like, go find a team that needs you.
But why not get something out of it?
I understand that. I don't know who's going to pick. I don't know who's going to.
Someone
will, but I don't even, like, the thing is, like, there's still an investigation going on. Like, let's say all this comes out, like, I'm not saying it's not credible right now.
Isn't that a little sketchy, though? That the fact that he's being accused of beating her, right?
Yeah.
How long ago did this incident happen?
Monday.
And today's Wednesday.
Yes.
I feel like if you don't know within 48 hours if someone beat the shit out of someone or not, it probably didn't happen.
I would like to think that, but
I mean, come on, dude. Like, you should know within hours if someone beat you or not.
Yeah. I think it comes down to, like, I get that thinking too, but the problem is, like, with these things, it's like you want to basically all sports, I feel like, are modeling after think what's that Roger Goodell, he suspended the guy, then the video got released to the public. Was that Ray Rice
or Kareem Hunt?
They don't want that, like Ray Rice, because that happened like a while ago. That is like they don't want to do anything until they're absolutely certain, because the last thing you want is some shit like that, like where they gave him a 4-game suspension, then the video gets released and they look like pieces of shit because they're like, how did you guys see this video and only give him a 4-game suspension?
Or they didn't see it.
So it's like you have, like, there is like due process. Like, you do have to do a thorough investigation. Like, even if, like, because she does, the articles are saying like that she did have like a cut, like a deep gash, like on the side of her face, and the broken vertebrae, the fractured vertebrae in her neck. So those are all. Look, it's not good look. It's not, dude.
But dude, sometimes the females can be crazy.
Motherfuckers be crazy, but it's not like, think of it like, I know we always, like, everyone always talks about like WNBA players like not making a ton of money, blah blah blah. When someone like, that's why I believe that this alleged incident did happen, because I don't think there's any benefit to her lying about this right now. Like, she's a former WNBA player who, from all accounts, like, seemed like she was pretty decent. Like, even if you're like not still playing, getting that money from the league, like, you have access to avenues and different things to do with your career. Like, if this was just some random fucking chick, like, run of the mill, and this, like, some story like this horrendous came out, like, some people might be like a little more skeptical, but like in this situation, I don't know what she really has to gain by lying here. But like, so that's why
she's been out of the league for a year, right?
Like, I think it's she hasn't been out of the league very long.
What if she's not very good with her money? Like you said, WNBA does not get paid well. What if she wasn't very good with her money? She's with a dude that is getting paid, probably, who has also an opportunities to get paid even more because, according, he's a decent basketball player.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm just trying to. I'm not maybe devil's advocate. I'm trying to play both sides here because one, if he
you're
did,
you're not saying you believe one way or the other.
no,
like,
I'm just trying to look at both sides here because you hear all the time Amber Heard and Johnny Depp, crazy bitch.
Yeah.
I mean, see, that's another thing that's what's wrong about this is that they're only going through due process. Like, I don't want to say it like that, but I am good. I am. The only reason why I mean, not that they don't do it for civilian cases, but it's a sport. They're celebrities, right?
Yes.
So they're gonna treat it 100% different than they would if it was me and you getting accused of beating a woman, right?
Mm.
Like, say that, like
it's gonna be different.
Like they would have it already would have been solved, done.
Yeah.
By now.
I
if
agree.
it was like me and you getting charged for this, because to be honest, it should be the same way for sports because the Ray Rice thing. But if she had videos of him beating her, it would have already been up by now.
Yes, which that's the thing. Like, I don't think
and they were in the room, so they don't got cameras in there. But anyway.
But what I want to know is, because I don't know if the article I read said this, but if what happened took place right in front of the guy who opened the door for them, that changes the whole entire thing. I don't know if the article I read wasn't necessarily phrased like that, but they said it as if the person at the hotel came up and opened the security guard opened the door for him.
Yeah, but then you say he immediately started swinging.
That's the thing. They don't say like an argument ensued. It's like it kind of goes into like almost like person came up, like almost like a bullet point kind of thing. Like, person came up, opened the door for him. Minutes later, or like whatever it was, like I can't remember what the language was in between A and B.
Okay,
that's important. Like, whatever article I read, I can't remember what the language they used between when he got to the room and when the assault allegedly occurred.
Because, dude, if it immediately happened, even if
you got a witness,
even if the clerk saw it or not, you're gonna hear that. Even if you take a couple steps down the hallway, you're gonna hear an altercation like that. Unless they got these weird soundproof rooms, and that's just weird.
Which, as like rich celebrities and like basketball players, there's a good chance they had a very like luxurious hotel area.
Yeah,
like,
but you're gonna hear a woman screaming because she's getting beat.
That's also true.
Like,
but I think that's also where the investigation comes into play. Probably interviewing people from the hotel, anyone who allegedly heard anything. I'm sure they're talking to the guy who let him in the room. Did he say anything to you on the elevator? Like, what did he say to you in the lobby when he came down and asked to like get in the room?
So,
like, what was his demeanor? Like,
what
like all those things. So like, at the end of the day, we're not going to know until this investigation concludes. But I just think it's...
But we should already know. See, that's the thing that...
I don't think so, dog.
Because it happened Monday. It is Wednesday. You're telling me it's taking this long to know if someone attacked this... If he attacked her or not, you should know by now. Because if it happened Monday night, say that the reports came out... Dude, 100% witnesses are already talked to because the cops are getting called first.
Yeah.
They're already on the scene, and then that's when the reporters come, right?
Yeah.
So you would think that they already interviewed the clerk or the staff member that let him into the room. Mm-hmm. They already interviewed the neighbors, the surrounding neighbors, within 45 minutes of them actually being there, probably, right?
Yeah.
And then they already interviewed the dude, whoever, I forget his name, and the woman. Like, we should know by now. The fact that we don't know by now makes me think that bitch is crazy. But then again, you bring up the Ray Rice thing. I mean, it was just alleged that he punched his wife,
Yeah.
and then he got the suspension.
Mhm.
Then we saw the video.
And then we saw him mauling her in the fucking elevator. That's why. So they
Yeah, that's bad. That's bad.
So Adrian Wojnarowski, who's like he's the, I guess you could call him the Darren Rovell. Well, no, actually Darren's kind of shit. But like one of those main guys who like you recognize from football, like reporters, like Adrian Wojnarowski, like him and Shams own all NBA news. Like they are like the first guys to get it.
I know Shams from Pat McAfee's show. He's on there all the time during the season.
Oh yeah. So so this is the tweet, and he attached an article to it. So tweet reads, and this was at night, 9/11, basically before the Jets game. While the NBA is conducting its own investigation, the Houston Rockets aren't allowed to administer any immediate punishment on Kevin Porter Jr., including a suspension. That comes back to the Ray Rice thing, because you don't want to give him too little and you don't want to give him too much, because either way, it's going to, if you suspend him all season, comes out this was all bullshit, that looks horrible. You don't want to suspend him a couple games and then somehow some video or audio gets leaked, like really implicate. I'm going to read this article real quick and see if they touched on. So let's see. All right, I'm just going to read some of this. So police responded to a 911 call reporting an assault at 6:45 a.m. and arrested Porter, 23, after an investigation. Both charges are felonies. So he's being charged with 2 felonies right now.
Mm-hmm.
The incident involved Porter's girlfriend, a former WNBA player, sources told ABC News. Okay, here we go. Upon arrival, officers were informed that a 26-year-old female sustained a laceration to the right side of her face and was complaining about pain in her neck, the spokesperson said. A preliminary investigation on scene determined that a known individual struck her multiple times in the body and placed his hands around her neck. So the police and whatever paramedics they might have called, confirmed that she did get injured by somebody. The woman was transported to the hospital for evaluation, the police spokesperson said. We are in the process of gathering information surrounding the matter involving Kevin Porter Jr. We have no further comment at this time. Let's see. Yeah. So under the league. Okay. So under the terms of the league's domestic violence policy, Commissioner Adam Silver has the power to place Porter on administrative leave without pay for a reasonable period of time. Now that's important because I've heard NBA players talk about like getting suspended, not for something as serious as this, but when they say reasonable period of time, they use language like that because that time period can be set to whatever they want.
Right.
So they don't do it like, oh, you hit this box, you get 25 games. You hit this box, you get whatever. Like,
which they probably should. They probably should do that. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't know anything about all of that.
I think I think it is like a little fucked because like in the past with contract disagreements, they've done like the old commissioner, David Stern, he was like hearing old players podcasts talk about him. He did some things that kind of abused this rule.
Right.
Basically, like guys who didn't do anything bad necessarily, but it was a bad representation of the NBA, and he'd sit there and be like, you're going to take X amount of games where you're not playing, or you can go and fight this, and I'll come after your contract. That's what he did with Gilbert Arenas. Gilbert Arenas had brought guns into the locker room, but that's what. All the time. But Gilbert told David Stern, he's like, you don't really have a case here. I didn't point the guns at anyone. I had them in my bag. Blah blah blah. Like you can only really.
Why? Why?
Yeah. Because he was making a point to like his teammate or something, like because it got like they had a disagreement. But
That's not a good look
He
either. You gotta make a
no,
point with a gun with a teammate. Dude, that's fucked
yeah,
up.
no,
But
it's
go
bad.
ahead.
And
I know.
Gil would even say like he was kind of off his shit
Well,
at
he
that
was
point.
young and
But
stupid, dude.
yeah, but he said he sat in his office and Ed Gilbert tried to act all high and mighty, and Dave Stern told him like, "You're gonna take this suspension. You can go to the press. You can go to your owners. You can go to whoever you want. You can blow this whole thing up. Do that, and I'm coming after your contract." And at that point, he had signed like one of the most lucrative deals that the Wizards had given him, which is
Yeah.
like upwards of at that time, which was like mid 2000s, like
Yeah, he
around
was
like
making good money.
2008. Like he was making a shit ton of money.
Yeah, for the time.
But he's like, "You're gonna take these 50 games, and you're not gonna say a peep about it." And he was like, "Yes, sir."
Yeah.
So it's like it's one of the like it's been abused in the past, and like obviously Gil like needed to be punished, but not that severe. But it's having that flexibility to basically drop the hammer on someone. Like you do need that kind of power if you're going to run a successful business. Like,
Yeah, 100%.
like you
But dude,
can't.
you also
You can't,
gotta give them like some slack here too. Like it is hard to judge on how someone should be punished. Like unless you're
yeah,
committing murder, right? That
yeah,
then one that's 25 to life,
Mhm.
obviously.
yeah,
It's just it really is hard to judge. Like for example, Roger Goodell and Josh Gordon.
yeah,
Like he's been suspended multiple times for the same thing, and then because he didn't learn his lesson, he got suspended for the year, right?
yeah.
Then he came back and then failed again, and then got kicked out of the league entirely.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean,
That's true.
it really is hard to judge these things, but
But someone has to at the
someone
end of the day.
does have to, yeah.
Like because your sport, like the integrity of your sport is kind of at risk with these things, and like some of these might be like minor things that get blown up into something else, but at the end of the day, like you got to contain the beast.
Yeah.
Like sponsor this is when I was talking about what the Rockets did with his contract. So Porter signed a 4-year contract extension worth as much as $82.5 million last season. It's only partially guaranteed due to Porter's history of off-court issues, which we were just talking about.
Yeah.
If the Rockets were to eventually waive Porter based on the results of this investigation or a criminal conviction, the franchise would only be responsible for only the $16.9 million of the guaranteed money left on his contract. So of that 82, they would only have to pay him 16. Which, if you're trying to get like some bench guys, you can sign two. You can use that money to sign two, or you can use it for your cap and distribute it like to help with extensions. Like that's a good chunk of change.
Not gonna lie, for someone that's about to get suspended or out of the league, $16.9 is not a bad see you later. Just saying. Depending on what kind of situations you got going on, $16.9 million ain't too bad.
It's not until you like the breakdown, because there's like your manager's got to get paid,
fire 'em.
Someone's got to get paid. Yeah,
I
like
would
everyone
literally
has
be
a
firing
percentage.
everybody.
Yeah.
Literally firing everybody. But that's so shitty.
And he was getting suspended in college too. The article goes on to say he was getting in trouble in college too before he even got drafted. That's why he went. He was like the 30th pick in the draft, but he was easily a top 15 prospect in college basketball before he came in. So that's why he got picked 30th. But dude, it's just, I don't know. That whole thing's insane. I don't know how it's going to end, but with the John Morant stuff, like happening all last season into this summer.
Is he back? What's the deal with that? I don't remember anything. Like I know like he got caught like 3 times with a fucking gun.
Yeah.
And he got suspended for the rest of the year, but like is he done now? Like is he back?
So 25 games this year, and he can't make an all-star team. He can't make all NBA, which if you get those awards, it garnishes a bigger contract. Like when
Yeah,
it comes time for an extension,
whatever.
like it gives you like getting all offensive all NBA get all NBA team selection, all star selection, all these things like they impact the money you're going to see down the
Oh, he
road.
can't be named any of those things?
No, he can't be. Maybe all star. He might be. Actually, no, I don't. Because the fans vote on all stars, so
What if
he
this
might be able to
man
make
is
all
like,
star.
what if he goes off? He's just gonna be robbed of that, all that.
Yeah, it
There's
doesn't matter. He got to learn somehow, and he fucked up multiple times. Like
yeah, because he
forget
was an
the
idiot. He was an
yeah.
idiot.
And
He
I
should.
don't have sympathy. I was telling my buddy I don't have sympathy for God. Like like I'm just gonna put this in perspective. I was an average to maybe I'll say average. I can do generally everything on a basketball court. How
Yeah,
successful, how high of a clip, what have you, whatever.
yeah.
Average, bad, shitty. Whoever played basketball and loves the game of basketball, your fucking dream is to go to the NBA. Even if it is so far fetched and there's absolutely no way, and you're not even doing anything to make towards it. Your dream is to get to the league.
Money
And when
changes
there's
you, dude.
but what?
Money changes you. I know where you're getting that. Money changes you.
I understand that, but I hate when guys have so like think like Ja's story for example.
Oh, yeah.
Unknown, really unknown in high school, gets to college, doesn't go to like a really predominant university, has a decent first year, second year they go to the tourney and they upset two great teams and he has insane performances. They're guarding it like came from not being known to being the big a draft that had Zion freaking Williamson in it turns like all the attention's on that guy, and then you got this random kid from Murray State University who's making waves, and then you have I listen to like a lot of not traditional media guys like on NBA. Like I'll listen to like old college players who like coached and like these guys have been around prospects. And there was a guy who literally made an argument that depending on what team got the first pick, John Morant could have been the first pick. That even with a draft with Zion freaking Williamson in it,
Wow.
John Morant could have been a first pick, like
What
the
pick
first
was he?
pick.
Do you remember?
Dude,
He was picked number 2 after Zion
after Zion, he's picked number 2
to Memphis.
to Memphis. Yep.
God
And
damn.
and you got that guy, and he's like he's big with the kids. That's the other thing. Like,
Was he big when he got drafted? I feel
No.
like I mean, I'm not a huge like Zion Williamson, obviously, and he's been hurt pretty much
Yeah.
the entire time.
mhm.
But I feel like John Morant didn't blow up until last year.
he took. That's the thing, like, cause I'm like plugged into that shit, so it's a
Yeah.
little different. Like my what I see on my feed, it's all like
Yeah, that's different.
yeah, like we
Yeah.
see like different things, and you're
For me,
really a
it's
football
football.
fan. You're
Yeah,
kind of a
for me,
casual
it's football.
basketball fan. I'm
Yeah.
vice versa.
All right,
Basketball
then to the
fan.
casual basketball fan and the main like ESPN media and all that, John Morant did not blow up until last year. I
Yeah.
feel like
Mhm.
like they were not talking as John Morant was one of the faces of basketball until last year.
Yeah.
Because
And
he blew up out of nowhere.
Yeah. But
And
then I
then-
had like that when he played, so they upset Marquette. That was I think their first game, and then their second game I forget who they beat, but like they were the low ranked team going into March Madness, and they upset two people. Either they upset one, or I think it was they upset one, and then the second game he played really well, but they lost. I can't remember the details exactly, but for me that's when the hype started for me, and then I was plugged into everything that guy was doing.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't know, it's different, and he just to get back to it though, I just hate when guys like you have such a great backstory. There's so many things for everyone to love about you. Like the league wants to give the keys to like as far as the young guy, like there's a lot of young talent. Like obviously we got Luca, you got Devin Booker, you got like just to name like a handful.
Yeah.
Like you got these guys who like once Braun and Curry are gone, the keys are getting passed. Anthony Edwards is another one. Once Braun and Curry are gone, they got to pick someone. Like there's always a face of the league. I'd say there's multiple faces, but there's always going to be one guy.
And who's it right now? LeBron.
It's Braun and Curry, I'd say. Anthony Edwards is making some weight. I think Anthony Edwards gets it now.
If you had to pick the one guy, Braun or Curry, you going with Braun?
Face of the league, yeah.
You kind of have to.
Like
the man has the most points in history. You kind of have to.
You kind of have to, but then like Curry's accomplishments
he has the most 3 points. All right,
yeah,
whatever.
But like the run that Golden State has went on with him at the helm, like that's another thing to consider. So that's why I say both, because like in their own, like LeBron, you can easily say is the best player in the league. He's been the face since like 2004, 2003, whatever, when he came into the league.
Yeah.
But Curry has, like, as far as stardom, being a household name, that's why I kind of put them next to each other. Like you say NBA basketball, people who haven't seen a lick of basketball. Like,
you at least know those two.
You at least know those two right now. Or Kevin, you can throw Kevin Durant in there too. But regardless.
Right. Harden.
Yeah. Harden, not
Westbrook.
Anymore. At one point.
I was just about to ask, do you think Curry and LeBron are still in their prime?
Not in their prime. They are in their, I don't want to say
earlier retirement stages.
Not.
Maybe more so LeBron because he's just fucking old as hell.
He's just old as hell, but then like I'll watch games and he's not slowing down for shit.
I know.
In that regard, it's hard to say. Are they playing like they did when their athleticism was at its peak? No, but they're playing very smart basketball. Like they both don't take as many risks as they once would during games. So I'd say they're. Instead of going, they're going, let's say, peak. They're not falling down the summit. They're just kind of coasting at the top, like at their level. Like they're maintaining their level of play. They're not doing anything crazier than what they used to do, but they're not regressing far. They're kind of in almost like superstar in purgatory. Like
it's showing though. That's why they're not on the runs they are anymore.
No, Golden State you can make an argument for, but the Lakers have been like just so back and forth. Does
he end his career with the Lakers?
Yeah,
or you think
he does. So
you don't think he goes back to the Cavs for one last? That was the team he began with. Why not be the team he ended with?
I think when he got them that championship, that was the last time he's ever playing in Cleveland. I think if he like truly wanted to like stay there and finish his career there, he wouldn't have left the second time. But I think he wanted to get them that chip because he promised them back when he got drafted he was going to get them a chip. He got that chip, and I think I think what he's trying to do is I don't think he's gonna go back to Cleveland, but I could definitely see him going to a team that is interested in drafting his son. I could see that happening.
I do remember seeing something that he 100% wants to play with his son, and that was last year. I do remember that.
Yeah.
Well, but he's got the whole heart thing going on. Do you think that plays a factor in people drafting him?
No, I don't think so, considering he
man collapsed on the court.
He did, but all I think of is just the access to the best of the best of the best medical, like
LeBron's definitely gonna pay for that. 100%.
Yeah, and they put out an article that like he's showing a lot of progress. And I think he's going to be good to resume
it's just sketchy,
court play. It's freaky.
That's like DeMar Hamlin literally died on the football field.
Yeah, legally dead for a couple seconds.
Got up, made a tackle, got up, dropped, dead.
Mm-hmm.
And I was a little surprised they didn't play him Monday.
I guess they're taking their time, or he is a clone. and they don't want anyone to know about it.
Yeah,
I don't want to say that's a fun it's not a fun conspiracy to like pretend somebody died, but I remember reading someone was like, not DeMar Hamlin's a clone, like they got a body double.
dude, you never know.
I mean, just let's hypothetically say that was true. That would be the biggest fucking scandal in all of sports.
And I would want to know whose thought. Like, we can't air a death on TV. Let's just say he lived. Like
say he lived. Yeah,
that'd be Roger then. That'd be Roger. That'd be his call.
But then you gotta. But then it's like it kind of falls apart because then you're like, oh, well, all these medical people that they thanked for basically saving his life, like, are they gonna sit there and be like, I didn't?
Yeah, dude, they won a freaking. They're at the Gram. No, they accepted some award thing.
It was like a heroic award or something.
And that whole staff like did a speech or whatever. Maybe not the whole. So. Yeah, that would be a big scandal.
That would be huge.
It was dude, that was crazy. That was crazy.
No, that was a nuts night. I turned into the game probably a couple plays beforehand.
I fucking watched that shit happen. I had money on that game. I was pissed that they had to pause it, but I mean at the same time.
Did they end the game or did they finish?
They ended it. They just ended it. They shouldn't even counted that game as a win or loss for both teams, to be honest. But they probably had to for playoff purposes. Oh
yeah, because dude, there's no way all those guys were scarred. Like,
oh yeah, and that was deep. That was deep too. That was like this December or January or something.
Yeah,
because I remember when I was talking to this one girl, I literally texted him like, the dude just fucking died on the football field. And I said I was kind of pissed because I had money on the game, but at the same time it was fucked up because the dude literally fucking died. That was wild.
That was a wild fucking day, dude. But I don't know. Getting back to it though, I don't know. Oh god, I feel like I fucking forget what I was just saying. We were talking about Ja Morant. It all circles back to Ja Morant.
Oh yeah.
The NBA was ready to give the keys to you, brother, and I mean, this is gonna be a redemption year for him. Like, and if he messes up again, I don't even know what'll happen.
Well, no, it's crazy. Is that Ja Morant? This whole incident right now is not or nearly as bad as Kobe's.
No, it's not, and that's the thing. But the problem is, it's the repetitive behavior that's an issue. Him and his buddies, like, they literally threatened a Foot Locker employee because he wouldn't give like his mom's, and they were like asking people in Foot Locker, where's his car at? When does he get off?
You see, that's Ja Morant picking bad people. So I do remember after Ja Morant got busted his last time, like whatever the last time he got in trouble, I think I might have been watching Shannon Sharp and Skip talk about it.
Yeah.
And Shannon was going on like a whole rant, and I agree with it that Ja Morant just needs to get out of Memphis. Maybe it's just a bad environment for him.
Yeah,
bad environment.
Bad environment, but I also think the problem is it's the people you hang around to. One of his buddies is literally banned from all Memphis games because he was causing such a disturb. I don't know what it was. I don't know if he was fighting security or fighting other I don't know what it was, but one of his buddies caused such a bad disturbance at their games that like he is no longer allowed to attend.
Dude, sorry, go ahead.
And what you might have been about to say, and one of his buddies was the one who was live and filmed him holding the gun, knowing
that the last time he got in trouble?
That was the one that got him the 25. Yeah, because it was like, you need to stop. Like it was like,
Ja also needs to be smarter. Like, dude, Why you need to be dancing around with a gat, dude? No, you don't.
Like, this isn't a Lil Wayne video. Like, you don't fucking need
No.
that. Actually, no, it's more like a Shaw baby.
Yeah,
Pull up with a
dude.
stick.
No.
Let it hit.
Dude, it's fucking.
I
It,
couldn't imagine. But, like, if I feel, like, this is just me, but, like, if one of my friends is, like, making milk, like, you know me, I am not a yes man. If
no,
I don't like
no,
what you're fucking doing, I'm gonna say something about
no.
it. Like,
Yeah, true.
and
100%.
I don't know how there's not, like, either they've kicked out all the ones that are like that, but in that big group of people he's hanging out with, there isn't one guy, at least that we know about, that's like, dude, what the fuck are you doing?
It's probably John. You know who that should be? John Moran's mama. That's who it should be. She should be calling his ass out.
Seems like his parents are not help. Like,
Yeah.
okay, I don't want to say I don't want to say
Speculate,
anything negative, speculate
yeah.
anything negative about his parents, but his mom was the one that called him and his boys to pull up on Foot Locker to confront that employee, and I don't know if
Okay,
his dad's
then
having, yeah, like,
this is
and
a
like his,
situation where John Moran's got money and he's a cash cow. That's what that is. And John Morant knows he's got money and he wants people around him, of course. You don't want to be see, everyone needs to be more like Giannis. You ever see that one video of Giannis? Like he was doing some interview and how like he has like no friends and he kind of likes it like that. Like
yeah, he just
look
hangs out with
around.
his brothers and his wife and kid.
He goes, look around. Do you see people around here? No, no, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. He's a real dude. I like
That's
that guy.
that's the way to be. Like, you gotta have a small circle, tight group, and if anyone's
A
a
good,
fuck off,
yeah,
like, get them
yeah.
out. Like,
But that's easier said than done. Like sometimes, like that could be, like you hear all the time, like like people grow up together and
yeah.
then one of them gets money and then gets out of a little hand. It's kind of hard to cut someone that you have been with all your life. You
You
know what I mean?
almost, it's like one of those things you kind of, because of that, like, connection you had and the longevity of your friendship, you feel like you have some sort of, like, obligation to help this person out.
Right, right,
But the reality is, like, if a person's not good for it, like, I understand the thinking about it, because it's like, yeah, his boy's like, he wasn't really known, and he wasn't, it didn't seem like he came from a ton of money. Didn't
right,
say like he came from nothing, like he wasn't living, I didn't look like he was living in a shack, but like
right.
very modestly, from like the pictures you see of his house and like his school that he went to, like nothing over the top, but no, did not seem like anything down below either. So I don't know. I can tell
That's
you,
tough.
I
That's tough.
personally, at 25 years old, there's a good chunk of people I don't fucking talk to anymore. Like, my circle
Yeah.
kind of seems big, but like when I tell people, like, oh, I got my buddies from college and I got my boys from here, and then I got
Uh-huh.
like a couple stragglers that are out like in Philly and like some other select areas. It's like there's really only a couple people in my circle, and I'm
Hmm.
not real, and I'm never really jumping out the gun to bring new members in. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right, yeah,
Like I'm
yeah.
kind of good with what I got. I think I have
Hmm.
the right people around me, like
Hmm.
the right people in my corner at least. Like I'm not gonna lie, there's a couple yes motherfuckers that I hang out with, but not in this, like, they're the same of, like, they'll say yes if it's like, yo, run into that restaurant and dump spaghetti on your head or something. Not like, oh yeah, get in the car drunk and drive. Like, no, it's like I'll like motherfucking friends that'll like
Yeah.
push you to do something silly and stupid and like maybe not socially acceptable, but it's not like something life threatening or criminal. Like, I got plenty of guys like that, but like nothing where I just, there's got to be one.
Yeah.
That's what I want to hammer home.
Yeah.
There's got to be
There's gotta
one
be one.
motherfucker in that group who is telling him you shouldn't be doing that. And I commend that guy because I don't know if he's still around. Seems like anyone who would give that kind of message out the door. But
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. Like the blueprint. The thing with that though, like the blueprint has been written for those guys.
Yeah.
Like LeBron wrote that shit. Like fuck any other superstar. He wrote the blueprint on how to conduct yourself. Like forget what he said. Like I'm not talking about the shit he says about China, the shit he says about whatever, like dumb political takes he has.
Yeah.
Also, if it pisses you off that much, you have too much value in what an athlete has to say. That's the other thing. Not you obviously, but like the general population. Like if you are that mad about what an athlete has to say, you need to take a couple steps back. Because I'll read some stuff sometimes, and I'm like, someone wrote this for him. He don't really believe this, but he wrote it. Like someone wrote this for him. Braun wrote the blueprint, how to conduct yourself. Guy hasn't had anything, maybe not even a parking ticket to his name. Had a small group of guys he hung out with in high school. A couple of them didn't end up making the cut. And he's pretty open about it. There's some guys he just doesn't hang around anymore that were really close to him at one point.
That's life. That's life.
It is. But he had a very tight-knit circle of friends. Rich Paul, who is now one of the best agents in the NBA at negotiating contracts and is getting everybody under his wagon. His other buddies, some are coaching, some played a good chunk of their played either overseas or they've made it to the NBA. Like all his boys made it, and they all helped each other and they helped him, and there's a strong support base there. But it's like, if you want to model your career after anybody, like just as far as professional sports go, 9 times out of 10, I'd say like 9.9 times out of 10, people are going to pick LeBron.
Over Michael Jordan, the man that got cut from his high school basketball team?
Not picking him.
Really?
Because for off the court conduct, and he did not hang around good people.
No, he didn't.
Very well known fact.
Well, maybe it's just the first one. The story was like, if you want to make it in basketball, Michael Jordan, the man that got cut from his own basketball team, what, in high school or something?
High school, yeah, sophomore year, I think.
And the man got cut. Okay, maybe it's just shitty coaches not realize, or maybe he just was that bad.
Yeah.
And now he is arguably, depending on who you ask, the greatest of all time.
Yeah. I guess I can take like a piece of the motivation to be a great basketball player,
because
you can give that to him. Like, definitely.
For LeBron, if you were to ask LeBron who wrote the blueprint, Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
I bet you. I mean, not that I know LeBron things, but I bet you he was the one. Because that's what it was with Kobe too, right?
Yeah. Well, it was, you could say, I kind of say it's like Mike had his blueprint. Kobe made some edits to it. Kobe was very close. That's the thing about Kobe. Kobe was very closed off. He didn't have friends. It was just him and his family.
He had that Mamba mentality, dude.
Mentality. Like,
nothing
no one
wrong
else.
with that.
Nothing wrong with that.
He just had the whole sex thing go wrong. Yeah. That he had to settle. That no one ever brings up. No one ever talks about.
Nah.
That's sketchy, dude.
It would have still been, if he was alive, I'm sure it would be a topic that would get brought up sometimes. Again, it's like, I don't know the details about it, but at the end of the day, when you settle for $200, when you see that $200 million settlement,
it happened,
and it's like,
it happened, dude. Mm-hmm. Like, it happened. Yeah. Not to tarnish his memory or anything like that, but dude,
no, it's a fact. It's something that happened. Yeah, so that's why I say
it never got brought up ever.
No, but then you look at Jordan, and you got the very widely reported gambling problems,
and he's an asshole.
And he's an asshole, and like punching his hitting his teammate, like. There's one thing about, like, all they run is that story about him punching Steve Kerr in the mouth for talking back to him or something. But you got to think. Steve was like a great shooter at that time. Not so, he wasn't obviously in the pecking order as far as people you could identify from that Bulls lineup. He's not going to be like the top,
Yeah.
but he's still like a name.
Right.
Like that guy hit game-winning shots in playoffs. Like that.
Yep.
That was a guy. Like,
Yep.
and he punched him in the mouth. What do you think happened to the guys who sat the bench most of the year?
They probably got pissed on, dude.
Yeah, beat the shit out of it. Allegedly, probably. I'm not even saying it definitely happened, but like, but then you got like this guy, LeBron, and never had like a physical altercation with teammates. Never openly criticized. Actually, I can't even say that. I think he's criticized some ownerships.
But maybe
nothing off the court issues
that
besides
we
his
know
dumb
of.
opinion.
That we know of. Maybe some teams, some organizations are real good with keeping the media tight. Close all practices. Putting what are those deals and contracts were non-disclosed agreements. Anything like if you speak about anything in practice, like you will be fined.
Yeah.
If anyone if say that you can't pinpoint who did it, it's like a group thing. Like if anything leaks to the media that there was anything from team practice got leaked, everyone takes a hit. You know what I mean? So I mean, we don't know that. Yeah. Players are going to talk about non-disclosed agreements in their contracts, or maybe they do. I mean, I've never really heard that anything of that besides in acting. You can't talk about movies, but we don't know that there hasn't been. I mean, if I was a GM, dude, I would put that in a contract. You can't talk about shit. If something happens, you talk about it, you're taking a cut. Yeah. You know what I mean?
But then it's like
that'd be good.
Yeah, but then it's like you're only in trouble. You're only in danger if you're doing sketchy shit.
True. True. But if you got,
it's like there's probably NDAs that never even have to be used because it's like they just it's like a just in case kind of thing for like.
But the Draymond Green and Jordan Poole, that should have never been leaked. Like they should have kept that shit in house.
Yeah, it made it much worse. Then when that video came out, then the NBA I think literally had to suspend him. Like I think it didn't matter that the team was already suspending. I could be talking out my ass on that. I'm not sure if that's a fact. I feel like I remember seeing like the video. It was like team suspending Draymond for a day. Video comes out like
Poole
he's getting suspended
too.
Yeah, or it was like.
But that should have never been a thing. Like, dude.
No, it should have never got leaked because if one
you don't gotta like each other. You just gotta be able to coexist and play ball. That's why you're there.
Yeah.
If you're boys, it's just a bonus.
Yeah, and mind you, that was during a drill that happened.
Yeah, and dude,
that means you're going
all the time.
That's exactly right.
You see how many times in Hard Knocks, or just in sometimes they throw clips out of actual fights, like violence, right? And you see this with Jordan, and that's okay. That's expected. All this all pent up energy, all this aggression,
and you're already hitting each other. You're just not hitting each other, swinging. You're literally running into each other.
So it's like in basketball, I'm sure the same, just in different ways, the same vibe from that happening there, and then they get punished for it. Dude, it's different, yeah, but at the same time, dude, something like that should have never been leaked like that.
Yeah, and that's what Steve Kerr said. He's like, we wanted to deal with that in house,
and you should. Instead, now you had the media and the commissioner handle it for you. Bless it, bless it, and that makes Golden State look like a bunch of bitches. Yeah, they can't handle their own business, and that
they got to leak it to the public, right? And see, that's the other thing about think of that. So that situation happens. Remember what happened with Boston earlier that year with their head coach? The shit with him and an employee.
Oh yeah,
getting down. they kept that in house. We didn't know who she was. Like she was a Jane Doe.
Right.
We don't know what extent the relationship was. Like we don't know how old she was. We don't know how young she might have been. We
Right.
don't know anything about that. They kept that completely in house. But that also opens you up to some other shit because then all the fucking bored motherfuckers who don't have anything to do with their day are literally sitting there on Google cranking out the whole roster, the all the employees from the Celtics organization that work directly with the team, and they're like, "Oh, is it this girl? Is it this girl? Is it this girl?" So it's like,
see, that's the thing.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Almost
in that situation, yeah, it's great to keep it in house, but once there's a like a kernel of something, and there's no information, then that derails everything.
Yeah,
like the whole point is that should have never been released, obviously.
yeah.
But I mean,
yeah.
I forget what that situation was. What, he cheat on his wife or someone?
Who?
Wasn't that situation where the guy cheated on his wife with someone?
Jordan Poole?
No, the coach that you're talking about.
Oh yeah, so he had like cheated on his wife, and the Celtics had a rule that there was to be absolutely no like relationships between staffers, and
Ooh. All right,
and they like kind of went over their
hard.
yeah
That's hard.
yeah they went over their rules, and like what sucks is like he was such a good coach and he literally got them to the finals in his first year. That is unheard of. Like, forget the roster. It is unheard of for a coach to win you that many games and get you to playoffs playing great defense and having a great offense.
Yeah.
Like we saw what happened, like, because you can watch great teams that don't have good coaching and they talent only takes you so far, but if you have talent plus good coaching staff, that's how you get to the next level. And
Chip Kelly with the Eagles. That's a great example.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it is because we had loads of talent and he was just fucking incompetent.
Yep. That's which is crazy because he came from the Oregon Ducks and he was a great fucking coach there.
Different with grown men, I guess, but fuck that guy. He can.
He ruined them. He ruined
them and traded everybody. Everybody is like, these guys aren't working out. Let's get rid of Sean Jackson. Let's get rid of Vic,
in their prime.
And did they let go of Brian Dawkins? They let go of Shady too. Didn't they let go of Shady?
Yeah, he went to the Bills.
Yeah. Oh wait,
and did great.
Was it?
I thought he let go of Shady and brought in Murray.
That's right. They brought in Murray.
And they got rid of Shady McCoy, and he went to have a great couple years with the freaking Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
Probably no better player to play in the snow than Shady McCoy.
My God, bet the over every time. Bet the over on Shady. If it's like snow game, Shady McCoy getting over 100 yards.
Dude, he was
cranking that shit.
That man was great.
He must train. Whenever I see people doing well, now I'm like, oh, they must be training in the sand or something. Because there's no way you should just be prepared to run through mush like that.
Yeah, there's a lot of training videos of like football players. Like whenever they're at the beach, they're training. Aaron Rodgers did that with a bunch of guys, but that shit don't matter. Even if you train in the sand, you can still blow out your Achilles.
It's true.
There's actually a doctor on Pat McAfee yesterday or something. Saying that it doesn't matter if you're like a superhuman or like a nerdy little, I don't know, just a nerdy fucking skinny kid. Everyone's Achilles is the same. So like, the same chances you and I blowing our Achilles out on the field would have happened to Aaron Rodgers. Like, there's nothing you could really do to, like, you think you can do all these stretches or anything. It's kind of
one more move. That's it. Like that's all it takes. Like everyone. Now the degree of like the strength of your tendon varies, but at the same time, it's still the same exact tendon. It can happen to anybody.
Happen to anyone. And I was literally like, Pat was talking. He was saying how all his life, like whenever you heard about it, it's either you fuck it up or you don't. And that was kind of the impression I was under too. Like you're either going to blow out your Achilles or you're just not going to. I
Yeah.
guess that's the same with anyone, but like
Mm-hmm.
then the doctor came on and explained that it could literally happen to everybody. Like everyone's
Yeah.
is the same, and it was kind of just put like a different
Yeah.
perspective on the
What
thing.
sucks is as far as your tendons go, and this helps because like Jenny was in physical therapy, like, and she's like physically seen one because they had to like dissect like bodies to like look at like tendons, tissues, and other things. And she's like, when I looked at an Achilles, it's literally the thickest tendon I've ever. It is the thickest tendon, but she was like, I had no idea they were as thick as they were. Like
Yeah,
it's like, she's like, I had to use. She's like, put it this way, going through the body using like a scalpel and like small scissors. She had to use like, I don't know the correct terminology. Call it the super scissors to cut through it. Like that's how thick it is.
damn, that explains why it takes so long to heal.
Yeah,
To
it
repair
takes a long time to heal, but it also is very hard to tear. Like it's
And
easier.
Rogers made it look very easy out there.
Mhm. But like
But
if
then
you
again,
have
he
it,
had a
he had cat,
250 plus man falling on him. So I mean, whatever.
and it was a weird angle, and he was already having calf issues, so
Yeah,
he was like the recipe was there.
yeah.
For
I saw the
something to
slow.
happen.
I saw the slow mo of it, dude. You could see where
You see it hitting. It's disgusting. I saw someone tear their hamstring before, and it was in a girls' basketball game, and you saw literally like it looked like a ghost slapped her butt because you just saw like
Yeah,
pop up and
all that tension and yeah,
just
fuck.
snap. Yeah, I'm good on that. But it's that's why I like people tearing their knees, like their ACL, because your ACL isn't like your Achilles is thick, but your ACL is like significantly smaller. So that's why
Yeah.
it's a lot easier for guys to like tear that. That's why it's the most common one for sports because like of I guess all your possible tendons in your legs, like your Achilles is like I mean your ACL is like the shorter one. I could be talking out my ass. I don't
Yeah.
know, but that's like I heard it once and I've just been repeating it since type
Dude,
of thing.
I've been very fortunate that I never tore my ACL, knock on wood, and I never blew out my Achilles.
Same.
I have broke some vertebrae in the neck,
Mm-hmm.
which is now I say that's kind of scary, but
Yeah.
I did do that. Um, but like I didn't need surgery or anything. It kind of just there are very small breaks,
Mm-hmm.
but I still count it as a fucking break, dude. A break in the neck's a break in the neck, no matter how big the break is.
Yeah, breaks a break.
And the fact it was multiple of them. It was like 2 or 3.
Mm-hmm.
I broke a part of my hand, and concussions.
Yeah.
I've had like 5.
I never, when I was done, I still play basketball from time. It's been a minute. I still play from time to time because I don't wear I used to wear when I was in high school and like middle school. I wore basketball shoes all the fucking time, so I always had ankle support. But now, like a couple of years after college, and like I don't really wear basketball shoes much anymore unless I'm playing or like it works with an outfit, whatever.
Yeah.
Like I realized how weak my left ankle is, and I've never really noticed it until because it was always my jumping foot. So I'm like, how could that
That's
be
weird.
like
Yeah.
my weakest? You always have one foot that you put more weight on when you walk around, which it's not even my left foot, it's my right foot.
Right.
So my
that
right,
probably the same with me too.
yeah, like my right leg, I'm like right leg dominant. But when I played basketball, I always jumped off my left foot because obviously like you know how it works.
Right.
Like,
Right. Yeah.
opposites. I was right-handed, so but I would like this was my dunking leg.
Yeah.
And now like when I do, I can kind of I haven't done it in a while, but like even when I go for my dunks now, I do a hop step and go off both feet because I just don't have the strength anymore to like propel myself as high as I used to get off one leg anymore. And I'm only 25.
Yeah.
But I like realized how weak my ankle's been. And I've been doing things here and there to try and strengthen it, but
then again, you haven't done it in a while.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So like once it'd just be like muscle, like riding a bike. Once you start doing it again, you'll probably notice the differences. Is that damn, it's starting to get easier again.
Yeah. It also is like the problem with that is like it's also like a byproduct of I call it, this isn't a technical term, but I call it like micro twisting your ankle. So like I've had plenty of almost could be a sprained ankle type of thing where I roll my ankle on a guy's foot, or I roll it cutting, or like some guy steps on my foot as I'm in motion.
Yeah, I've had that.
They don't talk about that one. If you get your foot stepped on while you're already going a certain direction, you will stretch like the tendons out in your fucking leg. And I had no idea about that, but I rolled my ankle so many times. My fingers aren't really, none of them are really straight. You can even see my pinkies, like all my fingers, probably besides my ring fingers, really. And these are even angled. Like, look at my pointer fingers. Like, my middle fingers, crooked. This one's crooked. And my, like, ring fingers.
Dude, now you got me all subconscious.
Yeah.
I feel like
but these are all, like, this is all from basketball. And, like, either missing passes or a guy gets his thing is like if you have your hands here, I'm like ready to catch this ball. Not everyone's doing like coming from their hips and like grabbing. Like you got your hands right about where you want them. That pass comes inbound, guy touches it, misdirects ever so slightly.
It fucks up everything.
Fucks up everything. Shit like that. My left shoulder's fucked up and it'll probably be fucked up forever.
That's how I do my right shoulder.
I'm blessed.
Every time I bench, it clicks and it hurts so bad.
Mm-hmm. Mine, I can't, like, I actually can't. It's not I can't do anything with it, but if I'm doing like a boxing workout, this arm gets tired way before this one.
Yeah.
Like I'll feel like I'll just be like, even I'm doing a drill where I'm just going dot 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 dot. Like I'm like, I start to feel it like in my whole shoulder, and I don't know. It hasn't been to the point where like it's ever stopped me from doing anything, and it's not like
mine does.
Yours
like,
does.
If I'm benching, like once it starts to feel like it's about to tear off, I'm done. I'm done. Like it's really bad with the dumbbell flies. Like I feel
really
it just clicks. Yeah, it just clicks every time, and sometimes it hurts really bad. But when I'm benching, it kind of feels like it's gonna fucking tear.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I don't really go heavy. I think we talked about this before, but like I don't go heavy anymore. Dude, I keep 135 on the bench press. If I'm feeling juicy, I'll go up to 185. But like, I remember in high school trying, like, everyone remembers when they tried to get to 200 for the first time. It's like it's a grind. But like now I look at it, I'm like, I don't have the need to ever bench. Like, I get it if you're trying to be like a fucking Hulk, but like, I'm just trying to be like. Put it this way, if I were to die and I look pretty much just like I look now, I wouldn't be upset with it. If I looked like this the rest of my life, I wouldn't be upset. I'm still gonna work out. Like, like I don't have this. I don't care about the big biceps. I don't care about the big fuck.
The glamour muscles, dude.
Yeah,
I like the glamour muscles.
Dude, shoulders and traps, like that's all I really care about. Because if I take my shirt off, that's all anyone's looking at anyway. So dude, if you can do because I'll do the fucking lat spread in my bathroom sometimes, and I'm like,
feeling real good about yourself.
Yeah, yeah. That's how it be. But yeah, sports fucking injuries. Definitely lucky. I'm lucky I never tore anything or broke anything.
Oh yeah, I broke my hand. It was off a face mask. I did. It was on a kickoff my freshman year. I made a tackle, but it was a face mask. I broke my hand on the way down. It sucked. Yeah, dude. I thought I jammed like my finger. I kept like trying to unjam it, so I'd be pulling at it, which just made it worse.
Dear God.
And then I go to see the trainer at half. I'm like, dude, I think I did something here. He goes, oh no, you're fine. And starts like whacking it. I'm like, dude, that really fucking hurts. So he just taped it. I just had like one big ball on my two fingers.
Mm-hmm.
And then I go see the doctor after. And then they're like, yeah, you broke like this whole part of your hand. I was like, oh, great.
Holy shit.
It probably didn't help that I was pulling at it.
Oh, fuck no.
Because you know when you jam your finger, you think you just pull at it a couple times and it'll go away.
Mm-hmm.
I've done that. I've jammed a lot on my fingers playing football. It sucks.
Yeah.
But the worst are probably the concussions.
Yeah,
I've had quite a few.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I've had a couple too. They're not fun. Definitely plenty of undocumented ones.
Oh yeah, I think I've gotten
drilled.
2. I think I got 2 in 1 year. My senior year, that I did not talk because I was not missing a game senior year. And knowing what I know now, it's stupid. Stupid. But you know how it is. The last year of high school sports, you don't want to miss. You don't want to miss a single moment. And with football, you only get you get 10 opportunities. And for us, we were only getting 10 because we sucked. Okay.
Yeah. So you're not gonna sacrifice any of those.
Hell no.
Dog, I don't know if they've ever done a study on it, but if you're sitting like rebounding and someone shoots a short shot that goes off the bottom of the rim and that shit shoots right
that's gonna do some damage, dude. That thing's coming at you hard.
50% of people are getting boinked in the face with that. If people catch that, that amaze me. I'm like, you got great hand-eye coordination. I've caught plenty. Don't get me wrong, but I've also gotten drilled by plenty as well. Like, not good.
God damn.
This sports injuries. Oh my God.
Well, we've been going at it for a while now.
Yeah. Good discussion today. I think we got a lot accomplished.
Yeah, we did.
All right. So we'll put a pin in it.
Yeah, put a pin in it.
Thanks for tuning in.
You should now play the
play the outro. We'll give it the outro.
We gotta give it the outro.
All right, let's get it.
Sick.
Yeah. Bring it out. Let's fucking get it.
Dude.
Tune in next time. Sunday Exception.
Sunday Exception, motherfucker.
I'm Logan. That's my motherfucking boy Jesse. Zach might be here. We don't fucking know. It's a toss up. Thanks for tuning in. Love everyone supporting. And we'll see you next time.